oh shit, we got a fucking badass. Gray took off his damn shirt and kicked Rufus's ass, and then for freaking just owning him even worse, he puts on his fucking hat and is just a badass. Epic way to end this episode of Fairy Tail. I like the fight, even though this episode didn't really focus on the fight all around. It was still a good episode. I liked it. I loved the demonstration of the new music of Fairy Tail. If there is one thing that Fairy Tail does well, it is the original soundtrack. My god, hearing these old classical songs from Fairy Tail from the first original series, like remixed and stuff and added into this Fairy Tail 2014 was so badass listening to. I love the new music so much. It still continues to have that Fairy Tail top vibe that we all know and love from this series. So really, I mean, that was awesome. The way Gray just says, like, ice make unlimited, and you see fucking ice swords and everything go everywhere and attacking Rufus. He's like, oh shit, I can't keep up. Gets fucking raped, and Gray grabs his hat. Oh my god, I hope Gray keeps that fucking hat. That was so awesome. So freaking awesome. I like this episode. This was a good episode of Fairy Tail. Now, I know a lot of people will probably be complaining about the fan service, but come on! Fairy Tail has always had its fan service. We always know this. It's had fan service since the very beginning of Fairy Tail, and it's something we've come to know and love from the Fairy Tail universe. Now, I watched this series for the plot, okay? Even though there's Erza and, Lucy and Mira's, fan service, watch it for the plot. Always. I always do. So, really, I do like the scene, even though it was fan service, there was not really any development. It was mainly meant to just bring back those classical times of Fairy Tail that we really know and love. Even though it doesn't serve no purpose, it's still funny. It's still fucking funny. I mean, come on. It's a lot better than some things we see with fan service this day and age of anime. So I like the way it was done. Now, really, the animation, I like the animation this episode. It was really good. There were some scenes that wasn't that good, but there was some scenes that was just really fucking badass. I love the up-close and personal shots of Gray and Rufus. Those were freaking awesome. Rufus had some form of rape face on in this episode. When you saw that smile up close, that was
a raping time face.
That was really a raping time face. I like this episode. We really are having some really great progression with the overall battles going on. I mean, we have Rufus and Gray's battle settled in one episode. I like this. I like this a lot. I'm glad they actually are kind of going at a decent pace. At the same time, they're keeping it at a level to where it's not just forcing the pacing too fast. I feel like this is a good level of the way they're, developing the anime. Now, all the scenes in this episode, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I've read these chapters in the manga. I think that fan service scene was technically actually in the manga. It was not filler at all. There hasn't been really any filler, I think, in this series so far yet, as I know of in Fairy Tail 2014. So, honestly, I'm just letting you all know that right now if you assumed that fan service was filler or not. So, I like it. I love it. I just cannot get enough of that fucking opening song. Every single week that opening song comes up, I cannot skip it. I cannot skip that opening song because of how awesome that opening song is. I love it. Fairy Tail always has those opening songs that where you just cannot skip it because it's just so beautiful. Really, it just sets up the atmosphere and feels of the different arcs of Fairy Tail, and I think that's why I love Fairy Tail opening so much, because there's something about it. I mean, it's one of the greatest series I see with great openings that really fit through each individual arc of a show and anime. So, all in all, an enjoyable episode. Not the best episode we have gotten from Fairy Tail 2014, but it was still a very good episode. I liked the way it developed. It was a straight-out great development. We got to see how Juvia is trusting in Gray. Say, I believe in you, Gray, and even though she was trying to force herself not to run back and help Gray and save him from Rufus, she continued on and stuck to the plan, and Gray, even though he technically had no chance of winning since Mavis mentioned that in this episode, he won with the power of feelings. But, okay, it's Fairy Tail. Power of feelings prevails, but still fucking badass, and I love it, okay? So tell me your thoughts on this episode of Fairy Tail 2014. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What's your favorite moments about this episode? And do you feel like Fairy Tail's getting even more fucking epic? And what do you feel about that shirt rip-off? It's like, badass. Fucking badass, okay? Oh yeah, and what did you feel about that plant eye right at the end of this episode, staring at Lucy and all that, and all the fan service they were probably watching the entire time? That dirty freaking flower. So everybody, I love you so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.